What?
Don't talk, I don't
It's more fun
understand.
to talk. Every time you yell, it's fun.
You're not supposed to talk during that. Oh shit, hold on. Take that back, everybody.
We started with the swearing right off the bat.
So I got a quick story. I start this broadcast when I get home, so I'm loading things up. And when you create the broadcast, it starts a preview on YouTube that I don't really check, right? But I did notice at 4:30 when I got home, there's a comments on there, and I'm like,
I just saw that.
Yeah. And they got angry.
Well, yeah.
Well, I mean, is that good or bad that someone's an hour early and they're mad that we're not there? And I'm like, dude, I put a comment in there and we post all over at 5:30. But that will tell me that probably in our little teaser thing, we have to put live at 5:30. We got to put that back in there because
apparently we're having a meeting right now live. Are we having a business meeting here?
We're live, dummy. I don't understand when you don't know. The intro went.
People, that's what I just said. We're talking about what we're going to do. Sorry, what's that, Pete?
I said people love when we talk about how the time should go in the thumbnail image. That's what they want to hear.
That's what I'm saying. We're having a meeting.
Excuse me. Late breaking news. We're putting the 5:30, 8:30 back into our thumbnail.
Yeah.
That's the end of the show. Thanks for coming. You wanted Tamiya.
I have been putting it in the Facebook post and Instagram and Twitter, but I know that no one reads apparently because
nobody reads.
Nobody reads.
Nobody reads.
If you have a picture of
right on there should be 5:30, 8:30. I go by 5:30.
RC car and you
put. No, go on, Pete. Sorry, I was talking to Derek.
No, if you post the latest RC car, red hot new model, and you put right there in the write up on Facebook, you put it comes in red and blue. It's $500. It goes 60 miles an hour. It's on sale in 1 month. First question: how fast? What's it on sale? What's it cost?
Yeah.
Jeff's saying the story is this picture glue where he does a whole video on picture glue, and then they ask, "What is it? Where do I get it?"
Yeah, it's written in the description. It's talked about in the video, and every other comment. What's the glue?
So everybody in the comments, you need to read things.
Yeah, you just fixed it, Pete. Everyone's fixed.
Yeah. All right. So we're going to talk about the future of Nitro, right?
Oh, we're jumping right in.
Well, we kind of talked. We talked about that in a previous show. I thought we were going to get more specific.
Well, with Byron going out of business, and certainly my heart goes out to everyone at Byron. That's a huge bummer. And
great company, yeah.
Yeah, always cool people there. I remember Bobby, the lady from marketing, and
she owns a coffee shop.
What was the top guy's name? I can't remember.
Coffee shop? Oh, wow.
Yeah, I thought of it the other day, then I forgot it.
We love them all.
Nice guy, really cared about making great stuff.
Mr.
But yeah, that's a huge bummer. But I mean, it just goes to show you if Byron, this fuel giant, has to say, you know what, we got to shut it down. And I don't think that was because of COVID-19, although that certainly didn't help. You know, that does not bode well for Nitro on the whole.
Well, go ahead, Derek.
I was just going to say yes. Like I was going to be a one-word Jeff answer.
Good.
Yes.
I would say it's not abnormal. The segment has shrank so much. You still have Morgan with your Sidewinder. I'm pretty sure Nitrotane, and I don't know, is O'Donnell still making fuel, and Traxxas and Dynamite maybe. You got to expect a player to leave when your market shrinks that much. It's not weird. I don't think.
Yeah, I'm certainly not.
It sucks that it was Byron, but
yeah, I'm certainly not saying there's no fuel to be had. That's what's going to kill Nitro. But the fact that Byron would not stay afloat is a bummer and speaks to exactly how much Nitro is, going right now.
I'm not a business consultant, but I do play one on a YouTube channel. But if you want to be successful, you probably have to make more than one thing. Just a tip.
Not necessarily. Not they didn't have to when Nitro was big.
Well, you're one revenue stream. When Nitro ain't big anymore, you ain't here.
No, I know.
So
yeah, if you're a pager company, you're in trouble when cell phones come out. Yeah, I mean that's a fair argument, right? But the point is there's all sorts of one product businesses. As long as it's that commodity is always in demand, you're fine. But yeah,
you're not big oil. You're not killing the electric car at this point in RC. So you have to.
Well, even big oil's having a problem right now.
Yeah, but they're going to become a distribution. It's all distribution of energy. That's a different topic. That's a drunk.
Well, yeah, that's a whole different topic. But yeah,
conversation.
Rotten dinosaurs aren't going to sell like they used to.
Well, they certainly had a great brand, and they could have pivoted to or just added to the line, batteries and chargers, and
but that's an even more flooded market than Nitro fuel was. Everyone and their
People
brother.
need batteries and chargers. I mean,
No, I know, but everyone and their brother makes them, is what I'm saying.
right, but they'll definitely capture 0% of that market if they don't offer that product. And it's
100% of zero.
That was quick math.
Newsworthy in RC if Byron said the number one name in fuel is now going to be the number one name in batteries. You know,
Does anyone run? I don't even know if I'm saying this right. Does anyone run OS motors? Or sorry, yeah, OS electric motors. Didn't they make motors or something? Or I don't know. We've seen other companies pivot, and it doesn't always seem to work out. I agree with you.
I'm just saying, it's surprising that they didn't try. I mean, and
yeah. And I'm not poo-pooing the idea. I'm just saying I don't know. I don't know that would have worked out so well, anyways. In the end, this is a mature industry with a lot of big players making a lot of great products. If your pager stops selling and you start trying to make cell phones, there's other companies ahead of you on the cell phone, and maybe early retirement is not a bad option.
yeah, we don't know what was going on behind the scenes. So the company owner could have said, you know what, I'm tired of this, and that.
Sure.
I mean, who knows?
I bet you they made a boatload of money over the years. So yeah.
As Ernie would say, they made their fuel in a bathtub because that's what he said. Everybody made their fuel, right?
Yeah, and Ernie is super credible.
Don't make me call him. I'll put him on here too. I'm sure.
No, whatever. Ernie's my friend one day and hates me the next. Who cares? Hi, Ernie.
Hi, Ernie.
I'm sure he's watching.
He did make fuel at one point too, and batteries and aluminum parts, a car. So you gotta be a little bit diversified. Fuel, like I said, if you only make one thing and you say it's great while it's there, and when nitro fuel goes out of business, then you're out.
Well, I don't know how long Byron was around, but they were around for 3 or 4 decades.
I'm just giving free advice. Yeah, just make more than one thing.
Yeah, sure. That's my dogs, by the way.
Did Byron do fuel for anyone else, or did they only make Byron fuel for Byron?
I'm not sure myself. I don't know.
I think they did do some I think Mugen at one point may have used them, or somebody probably. I mean, to be honest with you, Trinity might have used them at one point too, because I don't think Ernie was in his bathtub.
Trinity didn't make much. Yeah, I think they jobbed a lot of stuff out. No.
Yeah.
Brilliant company back in the day.
Right. I would say if we want to do a little bit of talk about nitro, I know we always retouch things. First of all, there's no reverse in nitro, so we can't have that argument.
Yeah,
but
I wouldn't even race it. You can't go reverse.
But nitro, I mean, as a whole, I don't even think they really advertise. Companies in nitro don't even advertise to tell people that it exists. So it's never going to grow. It's going to be in a constant shrink. There's one racer retires and they lose a customer.
Yeah,
so,
maybe.
I mean, nitro needs to think of something to get some excitement back into it. I don't know.
Well, no, nitro is exciting. If people aren't excited, there's nothing to make it more exciting. You're either interested in that complex form of racing or you're not. And I don't know if advertising, well, whatever. Yeah, there's nothing to improve on nitro. It's like improving the combustion engine. You're making very little incremental change at this point on such a mature class.
I mean, I can list 2 things in 1 second that were around for 10 years that never made it into nitro.
What?
We tested, this is when I was at Car Action, some airplane company had a glow plug adapter that plugged into your servo, so when you went to idle, it turned the glow plug on, which eliminated...
It's easy to make. It's unnecessary. It's easy to make.
Well, what do you mean it's unnecessary? It takes
to have your glow plug fire up at idle?
It takes a lot of expertise out of having a perfect glow on. You could run it rich.
And here's the conversation.
Don't get into the elitist. You're only good if you can get around the track.
It's not an elitist position. If you want to bubble wrap the class, then race electric. It's already bubble wrapped for you. Because there was a company that had a sensor that went in the exhaust at one point and would measure, I guess, the unburnt fuel or whatever was coming out of the exhaust, and then it could adjust the air fuel mixture. Or whatever metrics it was using, and it could adjust your air fuel mixture. That's one of the things that I'm against for the reasons I explained in a past show. If you're going to simplify nitro, then just race electric. We have a class that is plug and play. You plug in the battery and it works. It doesn't flame out. It doesn't run out of fuel. We have a class for that. Leave nitro.
You have a carburetor in your real car?
No, it's not the same thing. It's not the same conversation.
What are you talking about?
No, I'm saying the lack of ease of use is. I went through. I'm not going to repeat it all. Go watch the other show.
You go watch it.
I did. I made a lot of good points.
Yeah. Let's get out of race mode though. Just think of Joe.
A
I want
normal person.
I already conceded that point. If Traxxas had all these glow plugs that light up at idle and automatic mixtures, I would be completely happy with it. As a basher, that would be great.
But do you think they would sell any more fuel powered cars? Not just not a Traxxas, just anybody. I don't think they would. I mean, even now, a lot of kids dream cars like a Tesla. Like full size cars aren't going to be fuel powered very much longer. So I just don't see how. Like even if tomorrow you had a kick ass fuel injection system, nothing leaks out of it. It runs like a Camry. Turn it on, turn it off. It'd be cool, but I don't think a lot of people would be converted because it's still going to be as fast as electric. And they'd still be like, it makes a lot of noise. I can't run in the neighborhood without my neighbors getting annoyed. That kind of stuff.
Even the bashers that enjoy Nitro are techie people. They like the frustration of it's not starting. Well, maybe not that example, but they like the tuning and the.
When you look at the comments now, you'll see people saying like, "Yeah, I got rid of it, like hated it, like went electric, never looked back." You see,
I'm not saying everyone. But when someone comes in the hobby shop and says, I want a Nitro car, I do a diatribe like, okay, are you sure? Because blah, 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 blah. We don't need to go over the advantages of electric compared to Nitro. And it's not many, but the odd person will say, yeah, no, like, I'm a mechanic or I like tinkering.
The odd person,
Yeah, that's right. I'm with you. I agree. I don't think ease of Nitro would increase. If anything, it might decrease the sales because now the guys that like to tinker won't be able to tinker as much. That's what I'm saying. That's why.
That's like saying putting the easy, like another thing that is on that. So Traxxas does well is the easy start, where you don't have a dumb. I guess you must be even more into it if you want to get a bump starter.
No, because I already freaking agreed that for like a basher type vehicle, it would be wise to have easy starts and air fuel mixture adjusters and all that stuff. But in the racing sense, if you make it so it just run again, I'm freaking repeating myself from that last show. If the engine just runs all day, then Mayfield didn't do anything by winning that hour-long main. He would have won the hour-long electric main as well. Is the point? So
but he doesn't tune his engine, so I don't even understand the point of that. He's not down there going, "I tuned it." He's got someone else.
He has to have a good pit guy, and he has to tap his head and say, "Put it in 1 hour on the top," and all that crap. So yeah, remember the old signals? Top end in 1 hour.
Yeah, great. That's very technical.
They all use headsets now, but before back in the old days, we would tap our bodies.
By the way, and I will agree with this Omar, who is your buddy, who hates your striker. That's
Timo. He's my buddy, man. I love this guy. I thought he was going to have a different name this week again. I was going to change it every week.
It's not that hard, but it is a learning curve. But there are certain things that would make it easier and better in general. And if you don't think so, you're dumb and don't go in reverse.
No, I'm not arguing that there aren't things that would make it easier. It's a metaphorical gyro to me. There's some things that you don't need to fix, in my opinion, when there's already a fix for it. And the fix in this situation is electric. Electric is everything you're describing what you think Nitro could be. Well, I mean, you can literally tell it. Like, listen, you plug in your electric battery and the car goes, always.
To zoom back out, I don't think anything's going to grow Nitro, though. You make the world's easiest to run Nitro car. I don't think we'll grow Nitro.
I'm with you 100%.
Granted, they turn out to be not very good and they cost way too much, but there's a lot of buzz about small displacement gas with the low C and HPI trucks. But ultimately, like, no one really cared enough to buy them to try them. I mean, media guys got them and tried them, but
there's no excitement. There's nothing new to even attempt someone to say, well, look at this new vehicle. And yes, you have to be more technically advanced and smarter and better looking, and you work out all the time and you smell better with it and you grow a foot. But there's nothing out there to even entice someone to think about it. So that's what I'm saying. I think
really awesome class of Nitro, except all the really fun things that come with Nitro. That's the thing. You're right. There's nothing new.
I need the newest, freshest thing, not a 12-year-old kit.
So for the 83rd time, buy an electric car.
Well, the only pitch for Nitro, like let's say there was a Nitro, Nitro RC manufacturers council, and they all want to get together to help each other sell Nitro stuff. The only credible pitch you could have is it's not faster. It doesn't give you more power. It's harder to use, but you're a real man. That's the pitch for Nitro, basically.
Yeah, but I mean, we can word anything to like. Yeah, I mean, arguably, yeah, I agree with what you just said. But listen, there's still some men and women that like to be real tuners and come off an hour-long main without a flame out, and maybe even not without a mistake on the track, no crashes, and brilliant pit stops and a pit strategy that had you almost run out of fuel, but not really. That is fun. That is enjoyable. I used to come off a 30-minute. We ran 30-minute mains when we ran Nitro Touring. I used to love it if I could finish a 30-minute main without crashing.
What is that in American time?
An hour and a half.
Oh, okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah. I mean, I would never accept the idea that anytime I run an RC car, the pinion's going to come off every, fifth run. And I'm just going to live with that. Like, I'm not going to Loctite it because I'm not
this is exactly the same conversation we already had. Yeah, I'm not saying I hope your pinion gear falls off. I'm saying that that pinion gears can fall off and you better put it on right. That's the Nitro.
Right, but I put it on so right that it never comes off. If I could tune the engine so it never goes out of tune, I'd do that too.
Because you're good at it. The other guy who's not good yet has his pinion fall.
Pinion on? Thanks.
No, it's a metaphor. The other guy that isn't good at it yet flames out and has to learn how to tune his engine better, or he runs out of fuel and has to beat the crap out of his
You have to have a friend that knows how to tune your engine better.
Sure, but again,
or that guy says, you know what? I'm just going to run electric cars. I'd rather have fun and go twice as fast.
If I had a lot of time on my hands and really wanted to prove a point, if you go somewhere and run an electric car and a nitro car next to it, I'm probably going to guarantee the nitro car gets a little more attention.
For sure.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Despite it being harder than this. So like I'm saying, you need something new to entice people and something for influencers or whatever a media is freaking called today, a guy on YouTube, to show it off, or it's old product that people don't want to send out to re-review. I mean, I've had this to where I contacted a company. Hey, do you want to review this? Well, we reviewed it last year. I said, well, that's the only thing you make, right? So why wouldn't you want another review of it?
That's a different discussion. But yeah, you're right, of course.
Thank you. The show's over. He just said the ending credits.
I only give you one correct statement a week. So enjoy it. We got another 40 minutes or whatever. You still didn't fix me.
It's the same one.
Yeah, well, you don't say.
Yeah. Hey, so we do have a winner of.
See, look at Charlie Mack. Charlie, I recognize that name. I think he's been a long time reader or follower. Electric has no soul.
Always
Sunny in
Philadelphia.
Yeah, that's an example of a guy who probably likes to tinker and is willing to have the potential failures, not planned failures, Pete, the potential failures of Nitro so that he has a soul still.
I assure you, electric RC has a soul.
No, I agree. I'm using Charlie as an example. I think he made a strong argument on my point with just a few words.
I don't know who Charlie Mack is.
What does Scott think? Scott's a pretty important guy. Nitro goes way more time and maintenance than electric. People are getting later. Yeah, no, yeah, I mean, right. Yeah, okay. Yeah, of course. Yeah, we all agree on that.
Oh, I remembered another topic that we don't have on the lineup. But let's talk about our winner. It's time to announce the winner of the Tamiya Comical Avante that we were giving away courtesy of Tamiya. And the white ball is going to talk about it.
All right, white ball. What do you got?
White ball. Just keep talking. It's hey Siri, who won?
I don't know who won.
Okay, I found this on the web for who won. Check it out.
No, Scott didn't win. I just forgot his name again. Sorry.
You're always so prepared.
I am prepared.
This is your show. This is your show, and you're always so prepared.
First name is Rick, and the last name is. Let me make sure I got it right here. Rick Hayes.
Ooh. Congrats, Rick.
So he's the winner. If you're on here, I have no idea if you have a screen name, but you did enter to win and you won. So hopefully you live in the U.S. or Canada, or I'm not sending you it.
We'll send you something if you're out of the
US. Yeah, I'll give you $50 so I don't have to spend it. See that hat behind Jeff's head?
We'll send you that exact one.
Yeah, that was $80.
That'd be a $200 hat.
Oh, look, there he is.
Hey, Rick.
So, Rick, send an email over to me or direct message, whatever.
Rick, are you in the U.S.?
Hopefully you're not Jeff's friend because that's always fishy.
A lot of these people are my friend. I like all these people.
You won't get camel stickers, I promise you.
Rob Wheeler.
If you have a better chance of ordering them, and that'll still take 3 months to get. He's on the 4 to 6.
No, I fill my orders. People that pay me, I fill. It's all you moochers that I take my time.
Back in the day when you could put 4 to 6 weeks to get your delivery. Remember those good old days?
Yeah, are we out of material? Come on, what's going on here?
I mean, that was classic. Take him out of that. All right, Texas. He's in Texas.
There you go.
All right. So we'll be sending that. Actually, Tamiya will be sending that direct. So make sure you take a picture of yourself.
Fred. I want Fred to send it after he calls me and yells at me for whatever I said.
Fred didn't want to come on and call you out. He said he'll come on and talk about Tamiya. So we'll have a different day. I wanted him to come mess with you a little bit.
I got some words for Fred. Just kidding, Fred. I love you.
All right. Now that we know the winner, chicken dinner here.
Who's this Careful Cole? He must be my friend, or he doesn't like me.
Wrong one. All right, we're gonna move on to something. I forgot the transition. I had a transition that
we haven't talked about my new hat.
Is that an Element hat or yeah?
Yeah, they had a business too. I don't know. It's not a new hat.
I think so. I think you might go like the U.S. Goodwill store ships a container up there to you guys, and
I've been snowboarding sporadically for decades. I don't buy new equipment every year. So.
And by the way, you still haven't worn your Oakley shorts with the little O in the butthole that was so nice.
I can get them right now.
Nice. You probably still have the same ones.
They're handy. I do. We've been through this. I do.
Speaking of buttholes.
Oh, James. Hey, James.
This was a topic that we discussed via text. That's how high tech we are.
Yeah, Peter let all his arguments out. I'm going to dominate him on this one. You shouldn't tell me your side of the argument ahead of time. I studied 3D printing for a week. I'm kidding. I joke. Anyways.
All right. So I have some visual stuff. Like, who wants to run the slide projector right now? Me? All right, I'll do it. So as an example, the topic obviously says, are they poop or not poop? And
well, of course they're not poop.
Well, I don't know if you want to look at the screen, but you can buy this scale case for $30 right now if you want to pay for that.
Yeah. Okay.
Are we
gonna have a conversation about how?
No, that's it. That's all I wanted. I just wanted the one word answer.
When they first came out, like it's a exponentially progressing industry. That's how they look now, but they're only gonna get better. The technology is sound, and it gets better all the time. It's not always gonna look like that.
All right, I'm gonna give a better example because I only have 2 examples today. So, Knights Customs. Obviously, they're a little bit more finished and polished, and they 3D print metal, which is pretty cool. So body accessories, fun stuff. Do you have a one-word answer?
Oh, I wasn't listening to you. I was reading Scott. What did you say?
I would never part with $100 to get a scale engine that looks like it's printed out of corduroy. That's where I land on 3D. I love the idea of 3D printing. I love to own a 3D printer. I'd love to make my own parts. And I appreciate that I can put them in an acetone vapor or sand them down to get them smooth and stuff. But I would never pay for something that looks like corduroy, that I also have to do that stuff to. And what mystifies me is if you're going to do low production stuff like that, why wouldn't you 3D print one and then sand it and make it perfect and then just make a silicone mold and then cast your duplicates so they look nice?
Because that's not what the technology is, and you already said you can sand it.
If you want a realistic 3D printed engine, or if you want a realistic 3D engine for your RC car, do you care how it got made? I'd be like, well, $100 for one that's all smooth and looks awesome, or $100 for one that looks like corduroy, but it's 3D printed. I don't care how it got made.
People that are talking about 3D printing for the most part aren't talking about buying a $100 engine. They have a 3D printer.
So that's what I'm talking about.
And the sky's the limit.
3D printing is great. As a hobbyist, I would love to have a 3D printer. What I'm saying is 3D printed parts, like I'm going to get these 3D printed wheels because they're 3D printed. Well, why?
Well, then I agree with you. You're talking about buying it as a product for someone else to make it for you. Yeah, okay. Then there's other options. But if you have one at your house and you can design your own engine and you got to spend a little more time sanding it and priming it and filling all the cracks, then it's awesome because you can make whatever you want. But if I'm buying, Concepts did a release of a few products where they were 3D printed, and I like the idea because it's going to be a fast moving development. You can make things in low runs and and whatnot. But I didn't particularly enjoy that. I would have rather had an injection molded one. But if I had a 3D printer myself and I wanted to try a new wing mount or angle or whatever, I think that'd be great. And I'll say this because I know you guys are huge fans of the Mini Z class. In Mini Z, a few years ago, there was like entire 3D printed car. It's a small enough car that you can make an entire car 3D printed. And there was some dude, I think in Finland, who released a car that was quite dominant for maybe just a few months before some of the ideas were copied. But you can do a lot with it. Yeah. So again, I agree. I wouldn't pay $100 for a crappy corduroy 3D printed engine as well. But if I had one at my house, which I don't, if I had one at my house and I had some 3D, whatever you call like design skills, which I also don't, if I could actually sit there and design my own parts and send it to print and go to bed and have the part in the morning and sand it and make it look nice, I think that's amazing. I think that's great. But I'm 100% with you. I don't like the idea of buying it necessarily off someone else when you have other options.
Jeff went from one word answers to 5,000.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Or if a product is something like a cool bracket that lets you mount your camera on a thing, I don't care that thing looks like corduroy because its job is to hold the camera or to do this actual task. And that's fine. But when it's stuff like, here's a scale realistic or supposed to be a realistic scale item that costs a ton and looks like junk, why do people buy that? I don't get
Again, you got to take the cost factor out of it because the cost factor is the advantage of it. If you have the printer, I don't know what a spool of plastic is, but it's not a cost factor. That's the point. Go.
It's a cost factor if you're buying it, though. If I'm buying it,
but I've already conceded that point. I agree with you on that. It's assume you own the 3D printer. There's no cost factor. That's the whole point. Yeah.
My joke's super old. I want to back it up a little bit. If you had a 3D printer, it wouldn't matter because you wouldn't do anything on it. It wouldn't be done. One.
Are you talking about me specifically?
Yes, you specifically.
Well, you're right. Yeah, no, I won't argue that point. Yeah.
And number two, I think if you designed an engine, it would be a box and some macaroni shells coming off the side, and that would be your 3D printed engine.
And I'd put it on my striker. It sounds good. This all sounds good.
Yeah, which most 3D printed stuff looks like to me. It's like, I don't know how to draw anything because you need to be a designer. So it's a square with the macaroni coming out of the side.
I think we're missing two main points that I would like to make. First of all, during this conversation, they've gotten better. That's how technologies work. So every second that passes, it's getting better and better. In a year, we won't be like, oh, they look like corduroy. And in 10 years, you'll be printing your T-shirt out that you
awesome.
bought the so that's one component. It's again, I'll analogize to the talking about how crappy digital cameras are, and now my cell phone takes a better picture than my $5,000 Canon body. So from in the extreme days, my cell phone takes a better picture than that. What do we have? 10Ds. My cell phone now takes a better picture in almost every single situation than that $5,000 camera.
And a 1x2 thumbnail.
Whatever. My point is sound on that one. The next thing I'll say is, look at my we talked vintage last week. Look at my MIP 410 conversion that I'm missing a part from. An extremely rare conversion. Nobody's selling parts for this conversion. You can barely buy the conversions, although find individual parts. I'm missing half of a bell crank. Most likely, my only option, and no one's going to make a mold for me to pull one off. Most likely, my only option, and there's many people in this situation, not in this industry, my only option is going to be to 3D print, and I'll sand it and fill it and make it look pretty. The narrow conversation of I wouldn't pay $100 for a 3D printed engine, again, I'm with you, Pete. But the much broader conversation of 3D printing, it's not going away, and it's going to become phenomenal.
I'm only talking about the narrow conversation. Of course, 3D printing is great. And to Scott Hughes' point, he says 3D printing quality is amazing. What parts you're looking at, if they look like ribbing, like old technology, we get that. But that's what's getting sold out there. I still see stuff like, we have 3D printed this thing. Like, it looks terrible. Yeah. And it's expensive.
I wouldn't buy that.
That case is $30. I don't know if that includes shipping.
But again, if you had a 3D printer and you needed a stupid case to keep your camera waterproof, and you printed it out yourself for
Jeff, that's a scale. That's a scale one for your scaler.
Yeah.
Oh, is that what that is? Oh, I don't know. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I guess that makes more sense. That makes more sense. All right.
Yeah. If you want to,
is there any new points on this stupid 3D conversation?
Yeah. Well, I would just say to anyone selling corduroy engines, look up how to do a silicone casting, make one engine with a 3D printer, sand it, make it perfect, and then just cast it. Make a silicone mold and cast it in resin.
I don't want to be analogy Bob here, but if that's sort of like saying get your what are they on for iPhone? A Apple Boy. What are they? iPhone 40,000. Take your iPhone 20 and try and figure out how to make it be a pager. The point is the new technology is doing what it's supposed to do, and to then use it to print a mold, and then I'm not saying that that's not a good idea in some instances, but that's not what I think it's for.
The only 3D printing I watch is Sexy Cyborg, and if you don't know who that is, look it up.
I don't know who that is.
Yeah, there you go. Naomi Wu. Something for you to look up later. It's like when what was Tub Boy, or what was that stupid shirt somebody wore one time that if you looked it up back in the old days, it was the you know what I'm talking about? With Tub Boy.
No, I don't know.
Don't look that up either. But it was a shirt that some guy had an RC race, and we put it in the magazine, and it was some nasty reference that wasn't good to look up. It's kind of like
all right, kids, look up Tub Boy. Derek,
I'm a Tub Boy or something like that. Tub Girl. I don't know which one it was. It was like I like to bring 14-year-old obscure extreme RC car magazine references back up.
After this is over, Jeff, and only Jeff, Google how do I join ISIS, but just you do it, no one else.
I have a VPN. I'll be fine. Scott loves me right now. I don't know if he's being facetious. I love you too, Scott.
Hey, last week you guys talked about, and Pete posted one of his 20 meme. I don't know if it was a meme or whatever it was, about the automated cardboard car cutout thing. Do you know what I'm talking about?
No. Pete said something about
automated car. You know, the one where you put the square in. You posted a video of it.
Oh yeah, the Mattel Amaze-O-Matic where you put it.
I didn't watch it. But I didn't watch it.
And it's a mechanical programming thing. Basically, the car runs by itself, like again a mini 4-wheel drive might do. And I thought, you know what? If there was
you always have one on you.
Right in
it's one with a cat in it. That's why I got it.
in his pocket.
It's on my desk. I have lots of desk toys.
Yeah, okay.
I've got an R2 unit. I've got a motorcycle. You know, I keep lots of stuff on my desk.
Yeah, you need to share your toys at one point to the viewers there, Pete. You got a lot of toys on your left-hand side there. You're gonna have to share one.
Let's do a little trick. Here's R2, and here's another R2. Which one's bigger? Yeah, this one is. Perspective. Who knew? Anyways,
everyone.
Yeah.
Watch this trick. Oh, I thought of this thing.
That's amazing. Nobody knows how that works.
I still don't know which one's bigger.
Do I have a full-size R2-D2? Maybe I do. Did he just drive by? Maybe. You don't know. You can't tell. Special effects.
And that'll be your Dukes of Hazzard reference. We're going to fill in all the things we posted on Facebook and Instagram. But I think the reference was something about, and the topic that came up was, would we race fully automated RC cars, which is that an RC car, first of all, if it's an automated race?
No, it's not radio control, but if you could have a powered model hobby where the idea is the car is going to drive itself. It's up to you to make it handle as well as it can, because the car can only go as fast as the chassis will allow it to go without breaking grip. That'd be cool for me. And to me, that's no different than making a mini 4-wheel drive as efficient as it can be, or making a Pinewood Derby car as physically optimized.
That's what you're talking about. You're talking about Pinewood Derby, basically.
Yeah, I'm not saying replace radio control at all, but I think I'd be super. I'd be like awesome, because I don't have time to get good as a driver, because it would take forever.
But it also takes forever to
get good
as a mechanic too, though, and a builder and a designer. So it's still it's fine. It's just you're taking out. There's two main components to RC: driving and setting up and building the vehicle. So it's fine. You can take out one of those components, and it would be fun for the people that like to build and tune and test.
Jeff, who are you? I need you to be mad about this. I thought this
I wouldn't come to your race, but I can see, I can see it. Yeah, listen, I'm one of those guys who I like to drive, and I really like to tune and set up and find tricks. We talked about this with Scott a couple weeks ago. How in this day and age, there's a lot less of that sanding your screws and all that, because the cars are so mature and so good. The person that has the genius ideas, like in the 80s and 90s, where you could make a not full car perform better. A lot of that's gone now. So you in a way are trying to bring that back and take it. I mean, it's fine. I'm a supporter of it. I'm not overly mad at it.
I got something because I like obscure YouTube references since we're talking about automated racing. Have you guys ever watched marble racing on YouTube?
Yeah.
Marble, like the ball, like the marbles.
Yeah, they race marbles.
Marble racing. I watch Hot Wheels racing.
I just saw Hot Wheels. I haven't watched it yet, but you can watch marbles.
But how do you tune a marble? Like other than like polishing it and
maybe you should watch it. Because I actually watched quite a few videos on marble racing to see if the blue sky ball could qualify.
So our winner, he brought up slot cars, which is the first thing I thought of when Pete mentioned this. But I'm not a slot car driver, but the reality is I think that there's actually quite a bit of skill in the driving component of slot cars as well. Although probably more of it is in the pits. I think there's still a big component of driving.
It depends on the class. There's a video. I'll post it to the VRT Facebook, but it's been all around the world a million times, and people always dig seeing it. But it's like the Helsinki World Championship, or whatever, and the cars, they just disappear. They're so fast you can't see them. It's like, and then they're gone. You just see it go like Tron. It's amazing. And if you look, some guys are throttling, but a lot of these guys, it's just full clamp. They have optimized the car. It's not going to fly off the track, but you have to have the most efficient motor, the most grip, all that stuff, which is pretty cool. But they'll blow your mind. I'll post them after we get off the stream.
Yeah.
And then the next phase, since we're let's go to the ultimate lazy, where you can run Nitro and not have to tune it. VRC Racing has been out for quite a while, where it's a video game. Let's be real.
The only company that is extremely happy about the pandemic.
Right. Shouldn't that just replace RC cars? No. Yeah, then you could then go play Second Life. There's simulations for everything. We are a simulator people, but it doesn't replace the real thing. No. I mean, I haven't used it in 7 years, and 7 years ago, the world wasn't ready for this because you needed a $3,000 computer.
Yeah, the cars were undrivable on VRC because a slight delay makes I couldn't drive 12 scale at all. It was undrivable.
And I got a big press release from them last week. It was explaining to people why they should try it because basically people complained that the cars were undrivable. And the defense wasn't, I don't know if this was lost in translation, but you should be in agony for 3 weeks before you found a setup that made it work. And I was just like...
You're talking on VRC?
Yes. They put a press release out saying because it was difficult, people, it was like, give us another try. And here's people's testaments saying that it took them 3 weeks to figure out how to drive around the track and do a setup. But I just didn't understand why they just wouldn't have that set up as here's the setup for this car.
Here's the starting setup. Yeah, of course.
Right.
Yeah.
Or spec racing where you don't get
My biggest problem was lag, was the probably a somewhat crappy computer.
I will clarify that you had like 3 megabit internet at the time.
I was playing VRC on my Game Boy.
Oh, yeah. In the bathroom.
But,
I haven't used it. I don't know if anybody on here has used it to say if they've gotten it to where it's comfortable. But to me, it was a lot of, it's a cool looking thing. And I'm sure if I looked at the program and the physics that it was, realish. But you just can't get the point of view of like normal eyesight, which is a problem for me. It tried to emulate your head moving, which was weird because it didn't seem to work for me. But again, 7 years ago, and the computer technology is, we're 400 times faster.
Right. I do want to say my buddy Rob Wheeler is making some pretty badass dongles for that. I think, and he just posted RC Pro-Am. I don't even know what it's called, Rob. Sorry. I'm assuming it's RC Pro-Am. If anyone's looking for a fancy dongle.
That's a Nintendo game.
Oh, is that what I don't know. Rob Wheeler, try and find him somewhere. He's got a dongle, or he'll probably post something in the comments on how to do it.
Here's a question for Rob. If you're not that into it, Jeff, are there any guys who are like, yeah, I used to race RC and that got me into VRC, and now I just do VRC?
Oh, I'm not going to trying to answer for Rob, but I'll say probably not. It's some major introverts, I guess. Like part of RC is not just RC; it's hanging out with weirdos like you two.
No, I agree. I'm just curious because there's certainly people who are like, yeah, I'm an e-racer and I'm not really interested in becoming a guy who gets inside a car.
Well, listen, not just a few buddies of mine, but like James, who's on here right now, he almost sort of took a hiatus off of RC because he got into the the simulated Formula One. I mean,
Yeah,
I can
that's
see
what I'm
the
talking
draw
about,
on all that sort of stuff. Yeah, it's gotten so good that I can totally appreciate that. I personally can't see myself staying home from the track to do that, even though you're still interacting on a lot of these simulators anyways. But no, I think as much as I hate the outdoors, it's nice to get outside and see people and do all that pre-COVID-19 stuff.
Yeah.
I think that's a huge component that will never really be completely, or won't be, well, whatever, who knows, virtual reality, who knows what's coming. I mean, we have no idea. We're on the knee of a curve.
Well, even for solitary, I think being in real 3D space with a real vehicle that's on real ground doing real things is going to be more interesting to me than video game. And I like video games. I'll play Gears of War all night long, but if I had the option to like put on armor and shoot aliens for real without risk of death, I would do that rather than play Gears of War. But so that's why
I like the direction you just went in. That was awesome.
Took a turd.
I want to see you in armor.
Yeah. You're gonna have to let this armor out a little bit around the middle.
Yeah, me too. Don't worry.
That's why we're only we got our Instagram faces on. It's just
from the neck up.
Yeah.
If we did full body, nobody would watch.
FPV. That was a tough one to say. I only had ginger ale today. I watch those things and I get angry that it looks so dumb. So it's part of the thing.
I don't mind taking my shirt off, guys. If you guys
what do you mean it looks dumb when they have the goggles on? Or?
Let's tee chest down.
I'm not bad. I mean, so yeah, that's me.
Was the shirt already off on that guy? Okay, I'm a big supporter, Pete. Whatever.
Yeah, it's Big Jim.
Oh, good name too. Great.
Not working anymore, but that's Big Jim.
All right.
But here's the thing about like the comment about FPV. It's very tough for me to say. I think everybody looks like an idiot sitting in a chair flying a drone around. But
yeah, who cares what they look like?
I do. I mean, part of it is you don't want to look like an idiot in a drone.
That's too.
I think I get to swear like 3 times before we get flagged.
I thought I was the guy who was going to have the swear problem. I swear a lot more than you in real life. You're doing well.
No, you don't. You work at home. I work with people.
Yeah, I don't like people.
I think we might be done right now because that was an awkward long silence.
That would be amazing if we're done right now. Do you have another topic quick? What's your next thing on your list? Let's
I think we went through my list a little bit. If there was someone that's wanted to throw a topic up there in the next 4 seconds to keep us looking at you, that's fine. If not, what's his face? Mr. Hayes. What's his name?
My topic's right down here about subscribing to Velocity because it's only $10 and you're an a-hole if you don't do it.
Yes.
Rick, what did you say? What did you say they are if they don't subscribe?
They can be better by subscribing, is what I said.
Oh, right. Okay.
Now, for $10, you're going to get every future VRC that we put out, plus you're going to get the last 40. Why would you not spend $10?
Yeah, only in the PDF version, I have to say that, because if you subscribe to the app, you don't get that. So it's not as great of a deal, but can you get the better one? It makes me more money too. But you should subscribe because it's $10. Like Pete said, I don't know, you waste more money on toilet paper. I think that's $10 now for one roll.
Pete said it a lot more eloquently.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to work hard on it after we're done with this stream because I got to get my start article done, which is about what am I writing about? Servos, servo essentials. So, but yeah, it's a real thing that we work hard on. It's not just Joe Rando. Does anyone know what the torque rating is for the servo? It's not that. It's guys have been doing it for collectively, what do we say, 90 years?
100,000 years.
Yeah, we're up to like 100.
A million. Almost a million.
And it's entertaining and it looks great, and it's $10. You should just get it. You're gonna get 40 issues on PDF.
Or you could just send us $10 and not get it. This is pretty much the same thing.
There should be a Velocity Patreon for just that. Just send us money.
You can wipe your ass with a digital magazine. It's just you have an iPad with crap on it. But that's a comment. Fifth scale thoughts. I mean, we can go into this stuff. This will go into the I hate mini cars rant that I'll go into. Fifth scale is just a different animal. I mean, I've raced it. The physics is more towards a real car, so you can't go in like a maniac and think you're going to slam the brakes on and power slide out. You're just going to push off the track like a real car. But they're fun. I just don't like the sound of the engine, to be honest with you. It doesn't do nothing for me. And electric fifth scale is stupid. So
Fifth scale is just too much of an investment in time and space for me to ever want to have one.
You can get a fifth scale car for about $1,200 ready to run now.
But it's having the footprint of a lawnmower in my life. I don't need that in my garage and another stinky, dirty thing to work on. Just I'd rather have 110 scale. 110 scale is perfect for me.
Yeah, 1/10 or 1/8.
110 scale electric.
Yeah. Or a Nitro that automatically runs forever that Derek designed.
I don't even want that. Just electric.
No, me either. I was making fun of Derek.
Not
that I ever did.
How are you making fun of me? You would.
I got all kinds of ways.
If a Ferrari got 1,000,000 miles to the gallon.
Stop. Your analogies are not accurate in this situation.
Okay.
That's what I'll say. It's a good analogy. Yeah. Yes.
Well,
I expect my Ferrari.
I'm not trying to do a
Ferrari
scientific analogy.
The engine to run and all that stuff. It's not the same conversation as the way that this hobby is set up for.
I just want to have this comment on the actual rebroadcast, so someone missed that one. So you can't wipe your ass with a digital magazine,
yeah.
But you can buy one.
RC Car Action still makes a print magazine, and that's a great magazine to wipe your ass with.
Oh,
it's a joke. Are you kidding me? After all the money I gave them, I'm allowed to make fun of them.
But
that's
anyway,
right, guys, I forgot.
You can write. You can wipe your ass after with toilet paper or bidet, but. Squirt water gun. I put it in. It's not that great, to be honest with you. You have to buy a real one. That's it. So I'm going to do my little video of terribleness that I made on my iPad 5 minutes ago, and I never edited it to be any better. So that's all I strive for, is just good enough to be on YouTube.
Mediocrity.
Hey guys, the show's over, but let me explain what keeps this show going. It's not the terrible quality or the 38 cents. We're actually a magazine you download. And here's a quick video showing you how to do it. It's pretty simple. You get an email, click download. This is on an iPad, so the example's for an iPad, but it's pretty simple and the same steps apply for every tablet. Just download it to your tablet, comes on there, make it a library, put it on your iBooks or whatever PDF viewer you like, and then you have full access to all our back issues with flippable pages, links that direct you to an ad if you are interested in a high-tech servo or the new associated drag car. You just click their links and it brings you right to their website. It's just like a magazine, but on your phone. So you read it in the bathroom, just like good old times, but now it's digital. So remember to wipe your phone down because that's gross. Support us, subscribe, do whatever you need to do.
We're out.
Are we peacing out?
Follow us